Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Poodle back with another CFB 26 video, and in today's video, I'll be going over what you need to be doing day one when you open up Dynasty mode. This video is presented by the EA Creator Network. Shout out to EA for letting me get the game early so I can get all this footage to you guys. Reminder though, this is a work in progress game, and everything you're being shown in these videos is still subject to change come CFB 26 release day. Before into the video guys, as you know, we are on the road to 100k. Could take forever, not sure, hopefully you guys can help fix that, but in the meantime, can we hit 40,000 subs before CFB 26 drops? I greatly appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, you're not going to miss out on all the videos we'll be dropping in the early access window as well as when the game drops. Can we get 300 likes, 250 likes in this video? Either or, I'll be very happy with it. Likes go a long way. And of course, if you guys have any questions or more things you want to know specifically about the game, comment them down below and I'll get to every comment, hopefully, likely every single comment, and answer all your specific questions about the game. That way you're prepped and ready to go for when the game launches. But that's about it. Let's get into it. So I'm going to open up Dynasty and start a new team just like you guys would if you were to try to come and start your Dynasty day one. I'm going to go to LSU as you guys know. So we choose them. As you guys see, usual stuff. Head coach, day one, custom coach every time. Don't question it. If you guys want to know more about my reasoning behind all that, I dropped a few other videos. Make sure to check them out. They will be a part of the CFB 26 playlist. So if you check that out, you'll see all of my stuff. But let's get into it. I'm choosing recruiter. What to do when you first get into Dynasty mode. First and foremost, for all you guys who are going to start your dynasties, your first big dynasty, whether it's your year-long online or one of your multi-year offline, first thing you want to do is start creating sim dynasties. This is the first thing you need to do. But a simulation dynasty is for you to just start an offline file where you start simulating through what your dynasty is going to do. This is so important to start to build your path. A lot of people don't realize this. Hopefully, if you watch me, you realize this by now. Your first 2 seasons in a brand new dynasty are so important, but your first 4 overall go so long in the trajectory of your whole dynasty. If you have a few users who really hit on those first 2 to 4 seasons, they recruit well, they build their coach perfectly, they hit elite recruiter, you're going to see them dominate years 4 through 10. They're going to have this elite roster. It's going to be hard for you to catch up. If you see a small school or even a big school make a few big mistakes like buying the wrong packages, over fighting for some 5 stars, and they mess up, you're going to see them fall behind. So what I want you to do is set up a sim dynasty. And the first thing you're going to do is start running through some simulations with them and seeing how this team, like what this team does, how they grow, what recruits tend to grow for you. And there's a few reasons here. First and foremost, when doing this, you're going to notice that when you go to your roster, there's just a few young players that are going to grow up like very quickly every time. For instance, if we go to LSU's roster last year, Caleb Durham was a guy who in every sim got really good. Caden Durham. So what I like about that is I know, okay, so I don't really need to recruit an elite halfback right away, because I know I'm going to have my halfback. Or I'm going to go to corners, and I noticed at least in last year's game, the cornerbacks on LSU didn't progress well. It seems like they're in a better place now. But go through that too and just see what you're looking at. The safeties. Where does your roster sit? Go through your whole roster. See what they'll do and also see what you have. How much youth do you have? Like a team like Georgia has such a pipeline of players coming in, like you know you'll be good. So let's see wide receiver. Like, okay, we have some good guys coming in here. We have some young freshmen. Check out their stars. Are they star dev? Are they 4-star, 5-star? Are they redshirted yet? Check out that all. Check out your roster and kind of get an idea for what you're working with. Once you have that, next thing you want to do is then start simming through a few times. I'm going to go through a few other things, but you want to start simming through. Start by 1 season. And what you want to do after you get through that 1 season is start practicing the new manual progression feature. As I've told you guys, it is so important that you take advantage of manual progression. The only thing you got to pay attention for is going to be this one setting. What your league does with this setting. If this is 25, fine. If it's 50, maybe fine. Anything after that, manual progression isn't great. So first, understand what your league's going to do. If it's below 50, I'm likely sticking with manual progression, although that is a lot, 50%. Basically, what this does is, for let's say you gain 100 XP on a player, if you have manual progression turned on and auto turned off, you only get 75 points for it. Still really good because you could build a god squad with, you could build like absolute like beast with manual progression. So you want to do is start practicing manual progression. Just get your calculator out. This is going to be important. When building your roster, you can absolutely build some beasts. So I'm going to sim through 1 season when I get to that point to show you guys what it looks like with manually progressing players. But before we advance, a few things you want to take note of is this as well. Something I want you to be doing when checking out your first dynasty and checking out the school you're going to do is look at their My School page. Look at what you have. See what you need to improve. Especially when you're a smaller school, see what needs to improve, see how you scale. And what I want you to do is set the force wins for an accurate season for you. Like if you're an elite player in your league and you always go to the playoffs, make sure that you set your force wins to go to the playoffs. If you're a player who's likely going to go like 5-7 or like 7-5 or whatever, set your force wins accordingly against schools you think you'll win and lose. Go to your schedule, set your force wins. That way you can get an accurate representation of how these are going to change on you. That's very important because you're going to practice recruiting. Also, maybe set some recruits up. But remember, you're going to be doing this across different sims. I like to do different things in different sims because not it becomes too long. You could also play through one if you have the time. But in my first 2 sims, I'm practicing manual progression. I'm practicing to see how my school grades hit. So you'll see like right away, you advance the season, and a lot of your best players are gone, and you don't have a great second set of players coming in. You may drop on certain things on your overall. You're going to see how your team's going to be impacted year 2, and that helps your strategy for year 1. You'll see what players leave, so on and so forth. But that is super important to go through and do so. Beyond that, guys, it's also really important for you to go through and learn how to utilize your new visit local bonus, your pipeline local bonus. So I'm going to be maximizing a lot in my first dynasties. Again, in my other videos, I go over the strategy behind this, but really, I'm going to be maximizing for me how to take advantage and how to utilize it. So when you go to these pipeline guys, these guys that are like 5-star pipeline in Louisiana, in the state of your team per se, and close to it, they're going to have quick, cheaper visits. So a big part of my strategy, at least for the first 2 seasons to get Elite Recruiter, is going to be leveraging cheap visits. As you guys know, if they're in my state 5-tier pipeline in Louisiana, I'm going to get them for a 10-point visit. That means that I could bring in 15 guys for 150 points. I could bring in 8 guys on a visit for 80 points. Meanwhile, if they were 40, it would cost me 320 points. Or if it was, again, 15 guys, even more than that, right? So start practicing and strategizing and looking through sims, because remember, not every state's going to have as many players. Like LSU has a huge pipeline, and there's a lot of players that come from that state. Not the same amount of recruits come from every pipeline. So go to your school, go to that week 1 scouting period, and instantly sort by pipeline or sort by state, and look at the state of which you're in and the ones nearby, sort by pipeline. Like I said, go through and practice building boards. Some schools, like when I was Syracuse, didn't have that many. Some schools don't even have a 5. Go through and be like, okay, utilizing the visit proximity bonus, I want to bring in X amount of guys per year. Let's say I'm Syracuse and there's only like 5 guys I can bring in. I'm going to make sure, okay, those are my 5, so the rest of my board's going to be 10 guys who don't get as big of a boost. Maybe it's 15, maybe it's 20, maybe it's 25, maybe it's 30. Either way, start practicing building boards, because a team like LSU, Alabama, Georgia, with those huge pipelines in the SEC, in like hot territory type places where you're going to get a lot of recruits. For me, I could do this all day. I could do a whole board. I could fill out a whole board of just these players, basically. Look at that. I'll fill out a whole board. Some states, some schools won't be able to do that. So you're going to want to really take this one by one with each school and learn what you can do with your school and how you can leverage these visits, especially with smaller schools. Because if you could do that, you could bring them all in for visits. As we know, visits are very powerful. They're not the end-all be-all, but early on in the game, first 2 years, no ideal coaching packages, no CEO package, none of the above. You're going to be relying on visits a lot of the time because everyone's going to have 50 points. So visits are going to come down to it. And if someone's fighting out of pipeline a lot, they're going to be putting on 40-point visits. Us, we're going to be doing 10. So we're going to get everyone on visits that we want, whenever we want. That's going to be really huge and something I'm leveraging. So just start practicing with your board and seeing how many local visits, like do a bunch of sims, see how many local visits you're bringing in for your players and how many actually get generated within your pipeline, right? Like say I can just go on all day with this. Some schools won't be able to do that. So definitely check that out. Another strategy, like I said with my school earlier, is going to be scaling it for lower schools. So obviously with LSU, they're mostly A's, very different. But let's say you're doing like 1-star rebuilds, or you have a league that's going to be a 3-star less, 2-star less, 1-star less, and they have a bunch of reds like F's and D's and C's. Start schools like that and sim them for 2, 3, 4, 5 years with accurate force wins. Like you think you can win 5 games the first year. Maybe it's offline, you think you're going to win them all. Maybe your league's really bad, and even though you're 1-stars, you're going to be beating them. Or maybe they're really good and you're not that great. Do accurate force wins over like 3 to 4, 5 seasons and get an idea for when your 1-star school can actually scale to a 2, 3, 4, 5-star. Because then if you do it enough times, you'll see like, okay, and the best sim I had, I got them to a 4-star by season 5. In the worst sim I had, it took 8 seasons. Right? Start to figure that out so you can be like, you can start scaling how you're going to do your coach builds, scaling how you're going to start recruiting. You can start scaling things and building your plan for how you're going to do things. That's very important. That way you don't go all in trying to do something and realize that's not going to work. Or you may think this school took forever. There's better options. Remember, there's low schools with better options. I have a video going over the top 5 teams to rebuild and the top 5 teams that are like just the best in the game. Top 5 teams to rebuild, I'm looking at a lot of these grades. There's grades you can't change, right? There's schools that are going to have A+ academic prestige and they're going to have that off the rip and you can't change that. There's schools that are just going to have some things like conference prestige plus this and a few other things built in already. That's going to play a big role, tradition, in getting schools that are just elite or having better pipelines. So there's better options for like schools that are little but can recruit and have better grades. So start factoring all that in. You may find out that a school like Stanford at like 3 stars scales a lot better than a school like Syracuse per se, even though they're both 3 stars, right? You're going to find that out. So start practicing because then you'll see what like people you're competing against. Okay, that guy's definitely going UTSA and that guy's going this school, but UTSA, because of their pipeline, actually recruits better. And wow, that school scaled much quicker than my school in some like remote place in upstate New York, right? That's going to be a big part of strategizing and trying to outbeat people. Now for you, you may just want to pick your favorite team. You may want to coin flip it, that's fine. But if you're in a competitive league where you really care about gaining an edge on your opponents, the edge is going to be picking the right school and seeing how they scale. If you do it like 9 to 10 times out of 10 and the school keeps getting to the same point between seasons 4 and 8, but then you do, like I said, Stanford or some school that has like a better pipeline, or UTSA, and they're getting there between 3 and 6, you're going to see that you have a better chance of scaling quicker. And in CFB, like I said, it scales quickly. When you have that, when you get off in those first 4 seasons, or you get a slight 1 or 2 season head start, while the other team's still finishing off their rebuild, you're going to be at the ideal coach build and bringing in recruits, and very quickly you're going to scale and exponentially grow ahead of your opponents. It's simple math, and it's how CFB works. So you want to be getting your best advantage for that. All right, so we've reached the training results phase. If you had it on auto, you'd see all the auto upgrades, but I have it on manual, and I'm going to go through how you can strategize for manual. Why is this important? Especially when you're a better team and you have really good players, you want to maximize them to dominate on Saturdays and game day, national championship, playoffs. So you want to be doing this the right way. So start practicing with combinations. I'm going to give you an example here, right? Let's go to Caden Durham, one of the glitchiest players in the game. I kid you not. He's so tiny. He's like a little rat in traffic. One of the greatest players. What is he missing right now? 95 speed, could be faster, but really good. 91 elusiveness as a whole, could be good. Power, pretty good. In last year's game, he would have upgraded hands, route running, and IQ first. Those are the cheapest buckets. Now it's manual. I have 35 points. Let's get crazy with this guy. Let's go check out his abilities. So you want to look at their abilities. What meta abilities do they have? You want to check out what are their ratings and see what I want. Right off rip, I know what I want here. I want his speed up, I want his elusiveness up, and I want to get him platinum shifty. Those are my non-negotiables. So I start with shifty. I think that's the most important ability in the game. I have 35 points. So what I would do is, right, I start to do some math. Okay, 35, that gets me to 33. That's fine. Cool. Silver shifty, we have the requisite threshold for him. Let's keep going. That gives us to 33. Shifty gold, platinum, 8. There we go. We're at platinum. 19 points. 19 points left. I have platinum shifty. He's a glitchy player. Now, let's go back. As much as I want to improve elusiveness, he got what I wanted, which was shifty. He should play amazing. I may now try to prioritize another speed bonus. But that's 15. So if I do that, that's basically all my points. That's 8. I could likely get 2 here. So this is what I'm talking about, like managing it. Like you may have said, like, wait, maybe I should have stuck with gold shifty and just got another upgrade here. That's not true. I prefer platinum shifty. But there will be some abilities where instead of going up to silver or going up to gold, you could have stayed at silver and gotten like the throw power threshold you wanted and gotten a different ability. So you want to be calculating these things. Looking at where it says over here in abilities, see where it says the threshold requires 95 stamina, only has 90. Checking out all these things ahead of time and pre-planning how you want to build your team. This is going to be a really fun and really cool but time-consuming thing to do in this game. So for me, he has shifty. He's going to be a beast. Now I want that top end speed. I'm upgrading this. That gets me. He didn't get the speed up, but he got the acceleration to 98. It's hit or miss because last time I did this in my other video, he went up to 96 speed. Hit or miss, but remember, that's the luck of the draw. That's something you want to play with too. How many times does he get a speed upgrade there? All these things, taking notes of all these things, will make sure that you build the best possible squad in this game. And it's just awesome because then next I'm going to go elusiveness. I'll max that out. And now this guy's pretty much a dominant beast in this game. And you can just keep mapping that out. Okay, so that's you can start to draw like what you're going to do with this one player. Now I go back to quarterback, right? I don't have any quarterbacks on this roster. Newsmeyer retired or went to the NFL. Harold Perkins, same concept here. I've done this a few times, and each and every time upon my analysis, 26 is good. I could go up to get Robber and Platinum. That's pretty expensive. That's going to cost me 9. That's going to cost me 9. That's basically all my points. Do I want to go up in abilities? Like Robber and Knockout, even though I use him as an edge rusher. So for me, maybe I don't want to go up in abilities. Maybe what I want to do is get his finesse move up to a 98 and then a 99. Now I have a 99.87. Get his power moves up into the 90s. Now we're 91.99. I love that. Now do I want to go up with run stopping? Do I want to get his speed up at 15? I can't afford that. See, so maybe I want to save 1 and get his speed up instead to make him even faster. And you want to start calculating these things. I'm not going to give you guys 100 examples, but you guys get the point. See right here? Right now, I kind of regretted this. I've done this 3 times now. Wow, 92 speed. I should have gotten him up to a 93, maybe 94 speed and made him an even crazier Lawrence Taylor type pass rusher with that kind of athleticism. I should have just done that, but I overspent on pass rush maybe. Or maybe I went all in on abilities, but it's a senior year and now I'm not going to get anything else. Especially when players are going to their senior year, like Alabama, Georgia, really good players going to their senior year. You definitely want to be calculating this because it might be your one shot to make them a certain build. It might be your one chance to get Platinum Shifty. Your one chance to get Platinum Robber. That's it. It's a senior year. I'm probably not going to get enough. Like I can get Platinum Robber here, but let's say I do that. Now I can't get Platinum Knockout. So I might not get 9 points in season. Maybe I do. Maybe it's late. But this may be your last chance to make them a certain way for the season. You have more options with freshmen, obviously, as they grow up. But some of these elite seniors, some of these in-season, like real-life players, this is where you're kind of capping out. You got to figure it out. So start doing that with your team. That's going to be huge for mapping out the way you're going to build, and start looking at the scheme. Like, are you going to be a deep thrower? If you're going to be a runner, then maybe you go through your whole line. You go, how can I maximize their run blocking for their final season? How can I maximize their zone blocking, their power blocking? How can I maximize my quarterback scrambling? Because I'm going to be running a lot this year. Or I want to have a heavy pass rush. Harold Perkins, give him that. Start planning your schemes, doing all that. This is going to go a long way in preparing you for your day one dynasty. I'm telling you, a lot of people aren't going to be doing this. They're going to be going in blind every week like this. Oh, cool. Harold Perkins, he has 4 points. Health, IQ. Oh, cool. Speed. And then at the end of the year, they're going to be like, ooh, if I just had saved that 30 points, like I saved them, 35 points, I could have done a few strategic things versus just, wow, now it's a senior season for Harold Perkins, and I'm short for the abilities I want because I spent it too early in the season, or I'm short because I didn't calculate that. But if you do this first and start to get an idea for what you'll get with accurate force wins, you can start to say to yourself, okay, I can afford this guy. I can afford these 4 things. Let me save up till 8, because I know if I save up 8 twice to 16, I can get those 2 abilities I wanted. And that's going to be the way you want to do this for a lot of players, in my opinion. Guys, that basically wraps up my best day one first thing tips you want to be doing for when you load up that game right away in early access, waiting for your league to start. You want to be doing this with whatever your team choice is. Once you lock down your first team choice, you want to be doing this, whether it's offline or online. This is the way you're going to max out your coach build. This is the way you're going to max out your team success, max out your prestige stars, and a great way to actually choose your team, because you're going to say, wow, that one team just keep coming out behind. Like, I see all these other 1-stars growing and mine's like a little behind, or the stars aren't going up. Maybe they have some really bad preset goal grades. They're not getting many recruits. Wow, this pipeline actually stinks. They don't have a lot of recruits. I'm not going to be able to make it out of this compared to like someone in like Texas or Georgia with a small school building out of there, when I'm building a small school up in northern New York and I can't get anything. You're going to start to realize all those things, and rather than being a dynasty trapped and falling behind your peers, you're going to figure it out now. And if you want to build a God Squad super team, doing it the way I'm doing it with maximizing things, yeah, your overall may not be a 99 because you're upgrading what you want versus the best things for your rating, but, and you're doing manual, which means you're getting less XP, but you're going to be on game day on Saturday, juking people out of their shoes with Durham. Harold Perkins is going to be flying off the line. Your whole line is going to be blocking like crazy because instead of upgrading like in last year, power, zone, they're doing everything, right? Now they're going to upgrade exactly what you want. All your linemen are going to be on the same page, all zone blockers, all power blockers. This gets rid of like my center's an elite zone blocker, my right guard's an elite power blocker, my left one's agile, like it's like all over the place. This gets rid of that. I'm very happy about this, guys. Follow these tips and you'll be dominating day one. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Can we get 40,000 subscribers before CFP 26 launches? That'd be awesome. Can we get 300 likes in this video? Every like goes a long way, and any and every comment you have, even if it's unrelated to this video, comment it down below. I'll get to your comment as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.